a little bit of what you do, that would be really helpful for me in particular. I'm not going to talk to you about community engagement and all the stuff that the team do, because Mark will do a bit of that, and you probably know quite a bit of it anyway. I'm just going to very, very quickly focus on the work of the Community Wellbeing Hub, which hopefully some of you have heard of, and you may know a little bit about what it does. It's based up on the business park at Peasdown, literally behind the Audi and Mercedes garage, and next door to the what was the Circle Bath Hospital, which obviously has now been taken over by the RUH, and has become one of their centres of excellence for orthopaedic surgery, I believe. So if anybody knows anybody waiting for a hip or a knee or a joint replacement, the chances are that they're probably going to have it done literally 200 yards down the road. This isn't my day job, the Community Wellbeing Hub. 4 years ago, we were just bumbling along doing our council work, and we were asked if we were willing to be seconded to the Community Wellbeing Hub as part of the COVID response on behalf of the council. So for two years or so, that's what Sarah and I and the rest of the team did, and we've been here now for nearly 4 years. So March 2024 will be the 4th year anniversary, and over that time, we've also been involved in some of the cost of living, the vaccination programs, the Homes for Ukraine. A lot of the visits to the houses and things and properties were organised and run from here. And also we're now very, very engaged with the Royal United Hospital and our third sector partners around hospital discharge and supporting people coming out of hospital. So at the moment, the Community Wellbeing Hub is currently funded until the end of March 2025. That money is available, so we are going to continue to be here. We've got 24 third sector partners on board as of today. When we started back in 2020, there were only 6 of them. So there's now 24. And I can't, please don't ask me to name them all, because I can't name them all, but I can name some of the obvious ones. Like, so we've got Age UK, we've got Bath Mind, we've got DHI, we've got the Carers Centre, we've got Curo, and then we've got a whole host, Clean Slate, lots and lots of different organisations. And basically what we do with the hub is we have an ability to share information securely amongst each other about individual cases and people. So people present themselves to the hub, and obviously they're dealt with and they give their details across, and then we coordinate amongst the third sector partners to try and find solutions to some of their problems. And to give you a feel for numbers wise, when we first started collecting actual physical numbers, which wasn't until June 2020, because to be perfectly honest, April and May 2020, I couldn't tell you what happened. It was a blur. We never got a chance to do anything. But by June, we actually got to an opportunity where we could start to record the referrals coming into the Community Wellbeing Hub through our triage team, and then going out to the partners. And we were on about 640, 650 referrals every month. Lots of that back then was all to do with medication, food supplies, getting food to people, all sorts of things, and also things like samples, blood samples and things to hospital, things that people weren't allowed to do because they were all shielding and they were told to stay at home for 3 months. So that was about 600 referrals. Last month, the hub took 400 referrals. So we're 2/3 of the way to where we were back in June 2020. June 2020, a lot of it was very simple. Mrs. Jones needs food. We had 2,500 volunteers as part of the 3SG. We could target those individual volunteers to do that piece of work, and that was done. The 400 referrals we're getting now are much more complicated, and often it's 2 or 3 issues that 2 or 3 public third sector partners to work with each other to try and unpick and address some of the issues that are affecting some of those individual people. So we're up to about 400, and that puts a strain on those individual third sector organisations in dealing with those additional people. A lot of them are coming from the RUH. A lot of them are coming from the hospital discharge scheme, where basically we've got a a unit up at the RUH at the atrium. If you go in through the front doors, the automatic doors there on the left-hand side, you'll see the great big purple community wellbeing hub desk, and there'll be somebody behind it and all the equipment, little podlets, and we are getting an awful lot of patients and staff and people visiting, patients who are presenting, and we're getting a lot of information, and that's all being fed in via Rivian, which is our software system, which basically allows us to share information with all of our third sector partners securely, and it allows us to kind of unpick some of the complicated bits and pieces that some people's need. That's a really short, quick, potted sort of where we are. Going forward, we are just putting together the final business case for the funding for April 2025 onwards, because obviously some of the work that's being done with those third sector partners is quite transformational. When we took part in the peer review last year, when they came in and looked at adult social care, the community wellbeing hub was individually identified as actually being exceptional. It had a peer review exceptional rating about some of the work that's being done, and that's not the council driving that. That's everybody driving that. Although we're there and we're part of the council, this is not a council initiative. It's an initiative run by the public sector, the private sector with HCRG, and the third sector. And that's partly why, to be honest, it worked so well in 2020. And all we're doing is not breaking it because it seems to work. So let's keep that model going. So that's me. That's unless anybody's got any questions.
Thanks, Dave. That was very thorough. Does anyone want to come back to Dave with anything that they want? If not, Dave, if you want to pop your information in the chat, then
I'll do that.
People can obviously always contact you afterwards if needs be. That'd be great. Lovely. Well, thank you for that. I'm looking around the screen. I'm looking for some new faces that haven't joined us before. So I'm going to start with Kate Bevan today. Hi, Kate. How are you?
Hi. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, that's lovely. Thanks, Kate. If you can let us know what you're working on and who you're working for at the moment, that would be brilliant. Thank you.
Hello. I'm Kate Bevan. I'm one of the new Twerton and Whiteway network coordinators. And I don't know if anyone knows the Twerton and Whiteway network. It's a new lottery funded project administered by Bath City Farm. I'm in the farm office right now. I work from here most of the time. There's obviously community wellbeing hub stuff goes on here. And the other organisations are like Southdown Methodist, Hall, Youth Connect Southwest, Southside Family Project, First Steps. They're all the kind of steering group of this project, which is funded for 5 years to better link up local organisations in this area and also reach out and listen to residents and communities and support them in their plans. If that makes sense.
That's lovely, Kate. And with the funding you've got, Kate, how long will that be in place for in the area?
5 years.
Lovely. And
yeah, it's a 5-year project, and the lottery are really on board with not repeating what's gone on before, you know, trying to kind of, you know, work ourselves out of a job, support very much ground up stuff, to prevent people feeling like they are being done to, if you understand what I mean. So it's really excited. I'm really excited to be here. I'm a Twerton resident. And what else? What have I been doing, for instance? Well, just kind of finding my feet really, and getting to know people more around and about. Making a little database of what is already happening in the immediate area. So by Twerton and Whiteway, the area sort of extends up to Round Hill School, you know, to incorporate Wedmore Park.
So
that's
do you
sort
want
of.
us to keep you updated on that?
Well, it would be helpful at the minute. It's just me, but it takes ages.
Oh, that's someone else.
Okay, I muted them there. There we go.
Oh, I've lost my thread now. I've probably said enough, but please ask me questions in the chat if you like.
Fabulous. Yeah, I think Kate, it's really interesting because Twerton in Whiteway is an area that we've had projects on a number of occasions before, and having yourself, and I think you've got have you got Sally working with you, Sally Harris as well, haven't you?
Yeah, she's just started in this last week or two. I was on my own from September. She's just started, so we're really just getting on it now, really.
Yeah,
try not to rush into anything big and fancy, trying to kind of take it slow and try and really build something so that when we walk away after 5 years, because I seriously doubt we'll get another 5 years funding for this, that we leave something that is running itself.
Absolutely. And if people want to get involved, how will they be able to sort of connect with you, Kate?
People on here welcome to email. I'll put my email address in the chat, and I'm totally happy to answer people's questions if they've got from what specific areas they're working in, because obviously I don't know anyone here, so I don't know what questions to try and answer for you.
Lovely. Well, hopefully by the end of the meeting you may well have a few new connections there. That'll be lovely.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. So from Whiteway, I'm going to go to Keynsham now. I'm going to go to Martin at Community at 67. Hello, Martin.
Okay, so I'm Martin Burton at Community 67, which is a small community centre in Keynsham. We host a number of organisations, and we also hire the premises out. I suppose in new initiatives, we're about to start what we're calling a mums and breakfast group. So it's for mothers who've got children aged between 0 and 6 months, which is for mothers quite a difficult period, and it's a sort of peer support group. So it's not run by any health visitor or anything. It's in a sort of an independent base. So it's just to give mums some support in those first 6 months of trying to those been through it, trying to struggle with a toddler, with feeding and everything else, just to show they're not alone, and just get sort of peer review from other mothers that are going through it. And we're also in February hosting Dorothy House are coming to use the premises as well for their work as well. But if anybody, as I say always, if anyone wants to work in Keynsham, particularly in the south side of the area, which is the more disadvantaged side, then please contact me, and we can usually host events and things at our centre. And we've also got quite a good network with other organisations as well. I'm really interested to hear. I'll contact you, Kate, actually, because I'd love to come over and see your work you're doing. So I'll make contact.
Fabulous. Thanks, Martin.
Okay, that's from me.
That's great. I'm going to go over to Hannah now from HCRG.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, Hannah. Yeah, I can, Hannah. Yeah.
Hi. So my name's Hannah. I'm a specialist social prescriber. I work with adults with autism, or adults awaiting autism assessment. We work on well-being together. So I might work with an individual client for a few weeks or a few months to sort of improve their well-being in a non-medical way. I would tend to kind of perhaps refer on to most people, I think, in this meeting today. I accept referrals from the Autism Social Care Team and from Bristol Autism Spectrum Service. And we're always looking, at the community for opportunities, very often to kind of improve isolation, to get people out and about, to look at maybe work, maybe look at their mental health. It's very, very broad, and really it all revolves around what matters to that individual. So yeah, that's what I do. I'm employed by DHI, and I work within a pod of social prescribers, but I'm the only specialist one there.
Thank you, Hannah. Okay, next I've got Ben Abrams. Hello, Ben. Welcome.
Hello all. So first time to this meeting, so nice to see some new faces. So I'm from the Bowls Development Alliance. So we work closely alongside the NGBs in Bowls to try and drive participation and development in Bowls. So we've just set up a community club hub at Purnell Sports Bowls Club in Polton. So the aim of this program is basically we run a Bowl for Health program. So it's sort of a free socially prescribed session, an hour to introduce people to the basics of bowls, and then an hour of tea and coffee afterwards to basically try and help people with their physical and mental well-being, mental health well-being. So we've run the first 2 sessions the previous fortnight. We've had really good turnout so far. It's been the feedback we've had so far is really good for people who are socially isolated. So I'll put my email address in the chat, but it'd be great to understand if bowls is a sport which hasn't necessarily been considered before, if people here might be keen to look at that as an option.
Thanks, Ben. I think Sue's got a question. I'll let you go first, Sue.
So it might have been the same question. I was just checking. Where is the is it the one on Coombe Park in Weston, going towards Weston, where you're based?
No, it's at Purnell Bowls Club, which is in Poulton.
Oh, okay.
So just outside of Bath. So we've just set up. We run them every Thursday. I'll put my email address in the chat, and I can send over a poster that has all the information about the sessions we run. But it's a 2-hour session on a Thursday evening, 4:15 to 6:15, basically to try and introduce people to the basics of bowls. And it's all around sort of physical and mental health well-being. Hopefully it helps the clubs as well with membership and things, but our priority is to try and increase participation and development in bowls through people who might not have considered it as an option before.
Lovely. Ben, is there any level of ability that people will need to get involved? And also, is there any area that in BANES that can participate or can't participate?
All areas, but any ability welcome. So we've got people who've come to the first 2 sessions who've never participated in bowls before. So it's open to all across BANES. And yeah, anyone of any ability or background is more than welcome to take part.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, next I've got Holly Newhook. Hello, Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I currently work at the charity Rice. We support and run the memory service for dementia and Alzheimer's. So we're based up on the RUH site, but we have our own building. I'm currently quite new. I started in September, and I am the volunteer and engagement coordinator. So I am currently recruiting volunteers to support projects that we're doing and running new courses to try and support people that have recently been diagnosed and their loved ones. So all our projects and sessions are designed for the patient and also the carer. So it's just trying to get them to meet other people in the same situation and then potentially go on to create peer support groups for each other. But it's also focusing these sessions on how we can continue to get people to stay active, think about their sort of health and well-being, and just to sort of stimulate them, really.
Thanks, Holly. Any questions at all at this stage? I can't see any hands at the moment. Fabulous. Okay, I'll move on next to Wendy Loads. Hello, Wendy.
Sorry, hello, I'm eating my lunch. Sorry about that. Thanks, Mark. Hi, I'm Wendy Loads. I'm a liaison officer with the England Illegal Money Lending Team, cover the whole of the country, and I'm the liaison officer for Bath. It's just really to remind you that we're here, for those that already heard about us, and to let you know, if you've not heard about us, we investigate, arrest and prosecute illegal money lenders and help the victims get their lives back on track. We estimated a few years back that over 1 million people in England were using loan sharks. Fair for All Finance last year did their own report, and they estimate that over 3 million people in the United Kingdom have now turned to loan sharks to make ends meet. A few reasons, really. The pandemic pushed people towards loan sharks. Secondly, the payday lending industry is getting smaller and smaller. And for although we don't recommend them, we recommend credit unions. That is pushing people towards illegal lenders. And of course, the cost of living crisis. Where the hell are people going to make ends meet? There's So we cover the whole of the country, and we help anybody and everybody who's gone to a loan shark. But I've got 3 sideline projects happening at the moment. I'm trying to raise awareness in the farming community, in the dementia community, and I know that Holly, yeah, so I'll drop you an email, and also in the learning disability community as well. Just trying to raise awareness to those groups as well as to everybody else. But what I'll do is I'll put my details in the chat, and then if you want to contact me, I also do training sessions, presentations. At the moment it's all online because I'm a carer myself, so I can't really leave my home. So yeah, I'm more than happy to speak to anybody and everybody. As I say, it really is, the cost of living crisis is really, you know, hit people really, really hard, and we are definitely seeing more and more people turning to loan sharks. So that's it really, Mark. Thank you very much. I'll carry on my lunch.
No, yeah, enjoy. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll come next to Sue Paul. Hi, Sue.
Hi, thank you. Sue Paul from Health Watch for Bath and North East Somerset. So just if anyone doesn't know Health Watch, our job is primarily to gather people's feedback about their experiences of health and social care, and we do research and engage with people in different ways by going out to do drop-in sessions at various different events and groups. I was connected up with Martin. We're talking about coming out to Keynsham fairly soon, hopefully, for example. I wanted to say we send out a monthly newsletter, and we also put posts onto social media. So, for example, having heard from Ben with the Bowls Development Group, then that's the sort of thing we can sort of promote that as a health and wellbeing activity that's happening locally across B&NES. Especially good to get outside of Bath, because a lot of what we put out seems to be about what's happening in Bath, and it's really good obviously to get spread across the whole of North East Somerset as well. Just one particular piece of work that we're just getting going with at the moment is around digital access to healthcare. So we've, on the basis that so much in life now is sort of goes out through, you know, you have to get online, you try to phone someone up and they say, look on our website, and obviously with health, again, there are lots of different ways that people can use internet and online access, whether it's for appointment booking, for repeat prescriptions, etc. So we're doing a piece of work to go out and talk with especially older people, but also groups across some of the less well-off parts of B&NES, to try and engage with people to find out how they find using digital services and whether those are barriers for them. And then we'll pull that research together and pull that together in a report, you know, based on what we find. But we have got an online survey, because obviously you do, but that's available as a paper copy as well. And we're trying to get out, myself and a volunteer, we're going out to various groups where we can have more like a face-to-face conversation with people about what they feel about digital access to services and specifically around health. So if anyone is interested in finding out more about that, or I can send out the email out, the Word version of that version, or it could maybe put out in newsletters, that would be really great. And I'll add my details to the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Next, I've got Anne Donahue. Hello, Anne.
Hiya. Well, we've already had a little plug already from the Community Wellbeing Hub. So I am a member of staff at the Carers Centre. We are basically a charity that supports people who are unpaid carers, so people who are caring for a friend or a family member or a partner or a child, that sort of thing. Okay. Quite a lot of the people we support don't necessarily define themselves as carers. They say to us, oh, well, you know, it's just what you do for your partner or for your child. But basically, if you know of anyone who is in a caring role for somebody, then they can register with us and access all the services that we offer. It's free to register, and everything that we offer is free as well. So we have a free phone support line, which I'm one of the people that answer that. There's 4 of us, and people can call with questions about anything and everything, I would say. Obviously, mainly around their caring role, but people do contact us with some weird and wonderful things. But it's also somewhere where if someone is having a tough time, which, you know, it can be quite challenging as a carer, it can be really helpful to have somewhere where you can call and just talk to somebody who is kind of separate from the situation. Because a lot of carers say, you know, I've got really helpful family members, but I don't want to keep burdening them by telling them how stressed I am all the time. And so they come to us, they let it out, and they feel better, hopefully, as a result of doing that. We can also help with things like helping carers put together emergency planning in case something happens to them as a carer. We can help if there's any kind of financial issues and they might need something. We might be able to help them find a grant to apply for. And then we also have a whole load of free activities for carers. So some of them are kind of one-off things like trips out, craft sessions, sometimes like information talks on certain topics. Like we've had topics like will writing and trusts and things like that. And then we have some regular groups. So we have a belly dancing group, we have a walking group, we have craft group, we have all sorts of things. And then we also have some carer cafes, which are more about meeting other carers, having a chat, having a cup of tea, sharing experiences. And we have some targeted groups. So was it Holly from Rice? We have 2 dementia cafes. So they are for carers of somebody with dementia. One is just for the carer to come along to. The other is that they can bring the person that they're supporting along. They are very popular, I will warn. So if people contact us about them, they usually just end up on a waiting list for a while because they're very popular. But we also have cafes for people supporting somebody with mental health difficulties. We have an online group, a telephone group, all sorts really, to try and, you know, find opportunities for carers to connect and have a bit of a break and talk to each other really. So if you want to refer anyone, we have a professionals referral form on our website where you can fill in all the details. If you want us to make a call to that carer, please put that in the notes, because otherwise they might just get registered with us and they'd get sent our information, but we might not be then making an active call to them to say, oh, you know, would you like some help with this particular thing? So if you think someone needs some specific help, put it on the referral form and say, can you call them and talk to them about this, whatever it might be. You can also refer through the Community Wellbeing Hub. So on the professionals form, you can tick a little box and it comes through to us at the Carers Centre as well. So that's another way of getting through to us. I don't know if anyone's got any questions.
Can I just ask a question? We had a carer came into our centre and was worried about the budget implications and woodlands. Are you able to just comment on? She was really worried that it was going to be closed down. I know the budget's going through B&NES.
I haven't heard anything about it being closed down, so I hope not.
All right. So, well, I think the budget impact on the carers centre. I don't know. I mean, it might be misinformation. That's the trouble. I think things.
Do you mean the local authority? The changes to the local authority funding? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know the latest on it, but I know there's been lots of communication with the local authority about how they manage that, and we've had some really good. We kind of we've got like a carers voice team as well, and we gathered some support from them, and I think a lot of people have voiced on behalf of that. It's obviously not just us that it would impact on. I think it's various different kind of third sector organisations that are delivering services, but we're certainly not. I'm certainly not looking for a new job or anything like that. So I think things still going okay. But yes, it has been. There has been.
Okay. I think it's just trouble with misinformation, doesn't it? Rumours spread, and I think it would be useful. Yeah, we can go back to it. She might have read a headline and just put 2 and 2 together and got the wrong thing. Okay, thanks, Anne.
I'll pass it on to our CEO in case it means maybe we need to do some messaging to the carers and just make sure they feel more reassured about it if that's a concern. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. But feel free to send me a message separately if there's any more detail that we can pass on. So.
Okay, brilliant.
Thanks, Martin. I think Jane, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, hi, thank you. Anne, I'm Jane from Sendias B&NES, and I just wanted to ask, with the carer cafes, do you have specific parent carer cafes?
So we used to, but we were doing it in connection with the Parent Care Forum in Bath, and I think
Yeah.
now that they've sort of gone off separately. So we do signpost people to the Parent Care Forum,
Right.
but we
Yeah.
we don't have a specific one ourselves that we do. It's
Yeah, I
we
was
tend
wondering
to
that, 'cause I was
signpost.
I was having a dig around and I couldn't find anything. But so yeah, that's good to know that it's through the Parent Carer Forum
Yeah,
now.
and
Thank you.
we do signpost people to you as well. So
Yeah, great. Thank you. We do to you. Thank you.
And is there any groups that you're struggling to kind of connect with at the moment that you need any help with at all?
Oh gosh, that's an interesting question. I'm not sure I'm necessarily the best person to answer that, because of what the stuff that I do. I think the main thing we come across in terms of struggle is, and it applies to all carers, is that it can be so time consuming and energy consuming being a carer that a lot of carers, they may register with us, but they then may not access our services because they don't feel that they're able to actually come away from the person they're caring from or taking a break. And so I'm sure that all of you will come across people that say that and say, oh yeah, they do lots of great things, they do lots of great activities, but I haven't had time to get to any of them because I'm too busy caring. It is difficult, and I'm not going to say there's easy answers to it, but there are ways to get services to come in and support with that, even if it's just for a couple of hours to have a break and get out and do something. So I guess one of the things I would say is, if you have people saying that, please encourage them to just give us a call and talk it over with us. We may be able to signpost them to something that can help to allow them to have that break and get out. Or, in the worst case scenario where they really can't, at least we can actually talk with them and let them know that they can actually speak to somebody and talk about what's going on for them and have that ongoing support, even if it is just over the phone for a while. So I think that's probably the big thing we find, is just because it is so tough being a carer that people just don't often get breaks to get out and do things. I know that's not quite the answer to your question, but I think that's probably something that applies to lots and lots of carers out there. So
that's a very interesting perspective. Thank you, Anne. And I can see, Sue, you've got a question as well.
Oh, yeah, just briefly. So I know during COVID there were some, like, the cafes met over Zoom, or there were some sort of Zoom opportunities. Are those still continuing now?
Yep, we have, let me just look in our little magazine. So we have an online cafe once a month on a Monday on Zoom, and we have one once a month on a Saturday on Zoom. We also have two telephone cafes twice a month on Tuesdays, twice a month on Wednesdays. So there are ways for people to kind of get involved even if they can't come in. And actually, some of the activities that we do, the belly dancing, it can be done in person or it can be done over Zoom. So we get people standing at home dancing in front of their computers. We also have what's the other one I just looked at? We have a book group that meets on Zoom as well. So there are things that people can do if they can't get out. And although a lot of them are in Bath, there are things in other areas. So we've got activities in Keynsham, we've got activities in Midsummer Norton. We try and kind of put things on in different places for people. So
Fabulous. Thanks very much, Anne. That was really good. I've got Becky Penny. Hello, Becky.
Hi, thanks, Mark. So I'm here on behalf of Live Well BANES. So I think we try and come most times, so hopefully most of you are aware of what we offer. So Live Well BANES is an online platform providing support to adults to enable them to stay living independently, so offering care and support and signposting to support services across our area. Children and families, so again, parenting and family support across Bath and North East Somerset, and also Ofsted registered childcare listings as well. And we're also home to Bath and North East Somerset's Send Local Offer, so supporting young people with special educational needs and disabilities across our area. So signposting to support, information to support parent carers and those young people as they move through their journey and prepare for adulthood and beyond. So let you know about that. Any service and organisation can add themselves to Live Well BANES. We will moderate it, make sure it's appropriate, make sure it's a local service that people can access. So there's a few email addresses I've taken down, so I'll get in touch. But if anyone wants to register and add their details to Live Well BANES, it's easy to do on the homepage. Just click the register button and only take a few minutes. List your services details, and then it will come to us for moderation, and we will push it through to the correct areas onto the site. And then that listing is yours to manage as you see fit going forwards. So it's a really good way of getting your information out there quick and timely, and update it and so on. We also have social media platforms where we can promote anything that you guys are running. So like the bowls group that you're running, we'd be happy to promote that on there. That's just something that we would happily put out there. So if you could send us some details, that would be wonderful. But I have got your details as well, so we can get in touch. So just really to mention that we're there. We signpost to all charities, organisations and services across Bath and North East Somerset. And the only other thing I wanted to mention, which will be applicable to, I think a few of you might be interested, we're looking at running a health and wellbeing event for adults living independently, needing care and support. We're hoping for this to be run towards the end of March, possibly April. It'll be a sort of drop-in event where people can come along, meet various organisations in the area, have a chat about what they offer, and get involved, maybe sign up if it's a sign up situation. If anyone is interested in coming along, having a table, being involved in that drop-in session, if you could let us know. I'll put our details and our email address in the chat in just a moment. Just drop us a line and we'll make a note of you, and we'll get in touch when we've got more details on the date, time and venue, so that we can move forward with the planning. It'd be great to have you with us. I think that's it from me, unless anyone's got any particular questions, but I'll put all my details in the chat so you can have a look.
Thank you, Becky. That's great. Next name I've got is Cindy Ann Durant. Hello, Cindy.
Hi. Lauren and I, my colleague, work for St John's Foundation. We're part of the Good Living team. We run activities and events for people from the community of over 55, and we support our residents in our almshouses. We have two lovely community hubs, which we are keen to support other charities with. One at Coombe Park, the Royston Tucker Room, and one at the city centre, the Bubble. And yeah, in both of those hubs, we do various activities from Pilates, yoga, ballet, art, you know. And if anybody else has got any other ideas about what they would like to run, I know we're also going to start doing a writing community soon. So yeah, and if anybody wants anything from us, please let us know.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Cindy. Helen Allen. Hello, Helen.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me. I'm going to do a little shout out first, because just in case, because I think this is quite important. So we are a small community charity. We offer community transport to people through a fleet of volunteer drivers. I'll tell you a little bit more for those of you that don't know us. It's the name of our charity is Swan Transport. I'm just doing a little bit of an ask, because I've got so many great people here. Our premises, our future, our current premises is looking doubtful. So I'm just doing a little shout out, bit of networking. We require a small accessible office space, either in Peasdown, Radstock, Midsummer Norton. So could you just put your antennae out on our behalf, please, folks? I'd greatly appreciate that. Just moving on. So yeah, we're Swan Transport. We offer door-to-door, bespoke door-to-door transport for people who can't use the other means of transport. We do this through our amazing volunteer drivers who use their own cars, gift their own time, and they get a nominal amount of mileage in return, that's set by the government. We're not in control of that. We do all types of journeys, so that includes health, social. We do a lot of work with the Carers Centre, so we take people to respite opportunities and so on. Other partnerships, so obviously the Carers Centre, we do a lot of journeys with you folks. social services. We also work closely with Dial-A-Ride. I think you can probably all imagine that transport need is at an all-time high, you know, due to many factors. So we are above and beyond capacity, really. But I would say, you know, if you've got a transport need, you know, somebody who has a transport need in the Bath and North East Somerset area, do give us a call. I'll write my email and the phone number of the office in the chat. I think it's probably important to say that we need drivers. We're desperately needing more volunteer drivers. It was interesting hearing you talk earlier, Dave Dixon, about the numbers that we had during the pandemic of volunteers. And I think probably for all of us working with volunteers currently, it's quite challenging to find volunteers. So if you're out and about and you know anyone who would like to drive, like, there is no pressure on the amount of hours each week. They can be really super selective about what journeys they do. And I would say we've just won a national award for innovation in volunteering. I think we do really look after our volunteers, and we work really hard to make sure that it's kind of a reciprocal experience, that they get pleasure out of it, that we have a community. Yeah, shout out for volunteers, really, probably like everybody. So yeah, that's us really. But I will put the details in the chat. I think it's really important that we keep transport on the agenda. I imagine for lots of you, it's probably quite a big deal for some of the people that you work with. So yeah, so I'll put my email in the chat and the phone number of the office. Feel free to message me with anything you need to know. Thank you.
Thanks, Helen. I noticed Dave's put a note in the chat with his number so you can contact him about about your earlier request as well. Okay, I'll come back to Jane now. Hi, Jane.
Hi there, everybody. Hi, I'm Jane. I'm from Sendias B&NES, which is Special Educational Needs and Disabilities Information, Advice and Support across B&NES. And we provide free, confidential information, advice and support for families who have a child or young person with special educational needs or disability aged from 0 to 25. So we're completely different to the statutory SEN team, the people who families deal with for an EHCP and schooling and all those kind of processes. We support families and professionals across any part of that journey with their child or young person, right from when they might have early concerns about a child or young person, to going through a diagnosis process, sorting out schools, going to appeal decisions or to tribunals. We're there to support families, young people and children. We go out to a lot of events such as coffee mornings and schools, primary schools and secondary schools and the colleges, letting people know who we are, how to get in touch with us, because a lot of people don't know who we are, and are so grateful when we tell them that we're here, and what the service offers. So, you know, I'm busy listening to you guys. Like, I was thinking, Dave, you know, could we come to the RUH Wellbeing Hub and, you know, meet families there who are going to the hospital for therapies and appointments? You know, we have a number of volunteers and our team members who go out to events and tell people about ourselves, and just really spreading the word. We have a particular focus on, at the moment, on getting children and young people themselves involved with the service. We've got a new participation group that's started up, so I can share details about that, because we really want to hear from you know, children and young people themselves with SEND about their experiences, what they think about the services and support groups that are out there, how accessible do they think our website is. You know, we really want to hear from those people. So yeah, we'd love it if anybody's got any contacts out there. I can share details about that. We also hold training sessions for parents, young people and professionals on things like the EHCP process, annual reviews. So yeah, all details of those are on our websites, and how to get in touch with us is on there as well. So thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Jane. I've got Jasmine next. Hi, Jasmine.
Hi, I'm joining from Mercy in Action. We're a local charity in B&NES, who we focus on food provision through our action pantries. So we've got one in Radstock, in Trasham, and then up in Oxford as well. So we also have, so we do a lot of food provision through those, and then we have our Petra houses, which are homes for young mums and babies who'd otherwise be facing homelessness. So that's our kind of UK side. And then the other part of our organisation is over in the Philippines, where we were founded. So we kind of tackle poverty over there through food provision, drop-in centres, housing, schooling programmes. And there's a whole lot going on over there, but I'll keep that bit quite short. So our current situation at the pantries, I'm not too sure if anybody knows much about our pantries really, but we're really overwhelmed with referrals at the moment. So we're having to look at our model a little bit. So we're changing how we're running just a tad, to be able to still provide for as many people as possible. So we have quite a lot of referrals from single households, so we're having to adapt how we're providing food for them, which has been met with a little bit of mixed response from some of our clients, but we want to be able to take on as many new families as possible, which I'm sure if any of you are sourcing food, is really difficult at the moment. So we're kind of taking that head on and seeing what changes we need. But our kind of current status is lots and lots of referrals. As I know, Dave, you're taking loads as well. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Just doing food things. So if anyone has any questions, anything like that for us, then let me know. I'll pop my information in the chat.
Helen.
Hi, Jasmine. I was just interested. I mean, our charity is based in Radstock, although we do cover the whole of B&NES. So can you put some information somewhere about how and when people can access the pantry?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we've got our referral process is through any kind of professional, whether that be teacher, medical. So that's all on our website, which I'll also link on there. We can also take them from the community hub, which is where quite a lot of referrals come through. So that's always a kind of sometimes easier route for people to take, is getting referred onto there rather than having to go to their GP or back to their teacher or something like that.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jasmine. I've got Emily Malik. Hi, Emily.
Hi, I'm Emily from EcoWild. We've been running nature-based health and wellbeing courses across B&NES for the last 10 years. At the moment, well, in the last 6 months, we've run 12 6-week courses for people trying to make being well in nature more accessible and being supportive of them benefiting from that all year round, so throughout the seasons. We're in Waterside Valley in Radstock. We meet at the Swallow Cafe on a Thursday morning. We're in High Littleton in Greyfield Woods, Chew Valley at the community farm, and a few other locations around B&NES, mostly rural, and at Bath City Farm. And at the moment, I just wanted to highlight that through the Summer Valley Rediscovered project, we've got some funding for a free 1-week training in April for people interested in this kind of work. So it might be people working in our field in the VCSE sector, or it might be also suitable for people who've For example, we've got some people who've done several wellbeing courses, and they just really, it really works for them. Really love it, and it's a possible progression route also for participants. So it's called People in Landscape Training. It will be some nature-based learning, experiential learning. We'll be trying to be supportive of some mobility and access issues, but we will be outdoors as much as possible. And it will be based in Midsummer Norton and Radstock. As I say, it's a 5-day course, which will be in school hours, again, to support parents. They'll end up with a certificate, and part of it will be learning about how they might interact with their local landscape and community. So looking at the current sort of community assets, VCSE structures, and kind of actors in this field, just enabling really as a legacy, sort of longer term legacy of the Summer Valley Rediscovered project, local people or people with an interest in the Summer Valley area to get their fingers into this field of work or this way of community engagement. So I'm going to put a link in the chat to that if anyone's interested, or you can contact me and find out more. And just I just wanted to say hello and share also, as I say, the wider adult wellbeing provision that we've still got ongoing across BANES. Thank you.
I think you were muted, Mark.
Yeah, I was. Sorry, you must be able to lip read me, Ivy. I was just saying, yeah, I was just called your name next. So, yeah, thank you.
Oh, was that me, really?
It was actually, yeah.
Awesome. Hello, I'm Ivy Thomas. I work with Sight Support West of England. We're a local sight loss support charity covering BANES, Bristol and South Gloucester. We do all our services are free at the point of delivery, and you don't have to be certified as having sight loss to work with us or need support from us. It's whoever needs a bit of support can get in touch. I'll pop down our telephone number, website, and my email as well. If people need help, you can just send them those details. Giving us a call is probably the best first port of call, and the receptionist can kind of signpost them on to the best person to talk to them. So we do information, advice and guidance, and that includes looking at different low vision aids, whether that's smartphones and computers, specialist technology specific to sight loss, or just sort of in your kitchen, things to help with pouring drinks. We also run some socials and community groups around the area. So in BANES, I run one in Bath, in Chew Valley, Keynsham and Midsummer Norton. These are a combination of socials and appointment-based services, so they can give us a call to find out more or have a look on our website. And yeah, we sort of work with the person where they're at. We don't kind of push them to work faster than they're ready to. We can help with referrals onto services as well. And yeah, and just work at the pace they're at. And they can always get back in touch if they're not ready to kind of pursue things at the time we first come into contact with them. But yeah, I'll put things down in the chat.
Perfect. Thank you, Ivy. Next, I've got Liz Freeman. Hi, Liz.
Hi there. I'm Liz Freeman from We Care Home Improvements, which used to be called We Care and Repair. We work with people who live in their homes who are homeowners or private tenants, and we work with we work closely with people who are on low income, who need help with either energy improvements like draft proofing or insulation. If they want to apply to us, they just simply need to contact our email address on info@wecr.org.uk, or they can phone us on 0300 323 0700. The grant is approximately £4,000. So if you know anyone who needs some extra help with being warmer in their homes, contact us if they're on low income. The other thing that we offer is what we call the urgent repairs. So if someone's toilet breaks down, for example, or some electrical problems suddenly occur, or they could have heating problems, things like that, which we would consider urgent repairs. And also if they're on low income, if they're private tenants or they're homeowners, simply contact us. And it's very straightforward. You just fill out a form and we just need proof of their income and savings, and then we just can get on with the work, and it can be done quite quickly. Those are the two main grants, and that's up to around £1,000. The third thing we offer is if you're stuck in hospital and you can't get home because your property isn't safe, then again, we would apply a grant for anyone who is in hospital. And again, the grant's around £1,000. That's it, really. That's our main things that we do, and that will be of use if you know anyone who might qualify. We aren't getting enough referrals, believe it or not. So if you know anyone that you may not think's urgent, an urgent repair, but it'd be worth applying anyway and contacting us. So I do urge you to pass the word around. That's it.
Thanks, Liz. I've got one more name on my list, Clive Lewis. Oh, sorry. Before I go to you, Clive, Sue's just got a question, I think.
Oh, sorry. Well, I didn't quite catch. Can people refer themselves, or do they have to come through another organisation?
No, they can refer themselves.
Thank you.
I'll put the referral stuff on the chat.
Lovely. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Sue. I can see Clive's on the screen now. Hi, Clive.
Hi, yes, sorry I was so late to the start of the meeting. I assume we're just doing a quick kind of summary of what we do as an organisation.
Yeah,
Dear, I'm Clive Lewis. I'm from Developing Health and Independence. We're a social exclusion based charity and do work in Bath and North East Somerset, South Gloss, Bristol and Wiltshire. We provide adult and young people drug and alcohol treatment. We also provide sort of housing and outreach services, supported accommodation in Burlington and Barton House in and around Bath. Also support people in sort of cheap private rented accommodation, so it's affordable housing, and also a social prescribing service. So we've got a broad range of provision across quite a wide geography. I've actually been really interested in a lot of the things that people have been describing are things that I need to go and talk to my managers about, because they're things that I think are potentially incredibly useful in terms of even down to things like transport and food, thinking about how we can better access and share what we do, and activities. So what we will do as part of, just to give you a flavour, obviously in terms of our young people and drug and alcohol treatment, we also we subcontract an element of that service to AWP for specialist provision, but we're a very person-centered. We have a very person-centered approach, which is clearly around about identifying what goals and objectives people have, and then supporting them with that. So obviously, at times like this, then food is difficult for many of our people to actually come by, but we're really keen to try and key into opportunities and diversionary activities. So again, activities where there might be things for people to go and do dance or ballet, Cindy, things like that you've just described would possibly be really great for our clients as well. So I'll put my details down, but certainly be keen to share contacts with some of our service managers.
Thank you, Clive. That's brilliant. I think I've got everybody. I've come to everybody who's been on the call. It's been fascinating to have so many different people from different areas of work presenting today, and that's what these calls are all about: sharing and building some of those bridges that our organisations need. I just wanted to say that we've got these scheduled in for the rest of the year, and if any organisation wanted to present in more depth at one of the meetings, or have any ideas on any speakers they would like to hear from, or any topics that they would like covered in more detail, then please contact me, because we've got an awful lot of contacts within our team across the council and across the area. So we can put that on, and we can change it up a bit if people want something a little bit more in depth in the meetings. But I do like to hear from a good number of people, because it's great to kind of get that kind of quick and simple update kind of from everybody that's involved. I just have one quick thing to cover. We've got that. I could go into lots of detail about what our team does, and I will do that at a future meeting. I'll prepare something a bit more involved. But one of the things that we launched as a team is the Community Contribution Fund, and that's been run for a couple of years now. It's funded by local residents who put extra money in as a contribution to the council, and it's to look to kind of level up inequalities in Baines. So we are running a small grant scheme at the moment, which is open for grants up to £500, and that's really to cover organisations or groups that kind of need to access food, are providing warm spaces, or doing any community initiative in dealing with the cost of living challenges at the moment. So I'm just going to pop the link into the chat there. So all the details are on our website, and there's an apply button on that page as well. So please feel free to pass it on to people. And there is only a limited amount of funding, but once the applications are in, we'll come back to people quite quickly to let them know if they've been successful. Just a final call out if there's any other questions or comments from anyone. Just looking around the screen. If not, I'll let you all get on with your days. As I say, we always schedule the meeting for 2 hours, because we never know quite how many people are going to come along. But it's just been really great to, as I say, hear from everyone today. And as I say, we'll look forward to hearing any suggestions and ideas for further meetings from you. And I'll bid you a good day.
Thanks, Mark. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.